Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Ish. Welcome to 125 Graphics. In this video, I'm going to be drawing some eyes, various types of eyes. So if you guys want to draw with me, all you need is a pencil, paper, and an eraser. My goal in this video is to keep it very short and simple. So if you guys get frustrated, no worries. Just rewind the video and start all over again, because that's all we have to do in order to become better, is constantly practice. All right, let's get started. So as you guys can tell, I am drawing from imagination. So I'm really just making these things up as I go along. I'm not working with any references, just because I'm trying to strengthen my imagination on drawing eyes. So constantly, like if I create a character, I want to be able to pretty much be in complete control on how that character looks like, what features that do I want to use from the library of eyes that I have stored in my brain, and just pretty much use them at my disposal. I challenge myself like this, and then if I get frustrated, I just got to go back, draw some more references, draw from life, and constantly just revisit, you know, the things around me, right? Like, for example, eyes, and constantly look to get better. So I know a lot of you guys are wondering, how do you guys draw from imagination? And really, in order to pretty much come up with anything, you know, anything at the top of your dome, you need to look at what's the closest thing that resembles that, and just go from there. Use that as inspiration, and then when you've mastered the truth, when you've mastered realism, or you've learned it to its core, that's when you can start stretching the truth. Pick it apart, pull it apart, put it back together, and then that's when you're able to like create whatever you want. These are supposed to be very simple eye illustrations. I'm not going too crazy with details here. I just want to have fun, draw some eyes, make him very unique, different. I always tell myself, like how much personality can you give an eye? You know what I'm saying? And how different can it be? Like if I were to draw like 5 different pairs of eyes, how can I make them, like how can each eye tell a story? And that's what I want you guys to think whenever you're creating your subjects, whenever you guys are creating, your favorite character. Like, how do you want that character's features to tell its story? Because that good old saying, right? You can pretty much look at anybody's soul through their eyes, because their pupil is the window to their soul. Well, then yeah, so you gotta take that literally, and just like use it to your advantage, and pretty much come up with anything you can. What I would like to do later on, as I keep continuing with this YouTube channel, I'd like to I'd like to grab some of my old artwork that I created as a kid and start drawing them, because I feel like my imagination was very strong back then, just because it wasn't tainted. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was not tainted at all. Like, I could literally come up with anything and not have, and not it be affected by the outside world or the outside anything. It started getting tainted. Um, I think when I was turning 11, that's when, like, my older brother or my family or people I know would always be like, why are you always drawing so much of this? And why don't you draw enough of that? And that's when, but I try my best to, like, hold on to my imagination as much as I can, just because that is the root to your, I wouldn't say it's the root, but it's definitely like what keeps you motivated to get back to the canvas, to get back to the paper, and start creating. So if you guys have noticed, I'm not really like using any of the you know the those common practices that you see to draw an eye, you know like draw the circle, draw this first, and then draw this, just because that's more for like beginners. I think I'm pretty past that at this point. If anything, I think that kind of like wastes my time, just because I don't need to do that anymore. If anything, I think sometimes I feel like it just slows me down and kind of ruins it a bit, just because you're kind of working within a structure. And so now I don't have to do that, right? Because I can just pretty much like, all right, cool, well, here's where it begins and here's where it starts. And I can just pretty much print it just from looking at the paper. In order to get to that level, guys, you got to draw like 1,000 eyes. Like, I'm not joking. I've drawn so many eyes, and I've revisited the eye so many times, because I thought I knew how to draw eyes, and then when I started drawing them, I started realizing I really don't know anything, and I need to learn. There's still so much more for me to learn. So I have to always revisit this topic again, and like, okay, cool. All right, well, here's the eye. Here's how you draw it. And then when you do, it's like warm up, right? You just get better. Eyebrows is what gives, like, it's what brings it together. So if you draw your eyes, try drawing the eyebrows, because it's not complete. Cool. All right, so this one's done. Let's do another one. Let's I don't know. Let's draw one with